That's okay. I always wondered how many people we could fit into this kitchen. Now I know it's 136. My name is David. I am Rhonda's eldest son and Jenny's cousin.
My name is Melissa. I'm Jenny's only sister and niece to my Aunt Rhonda.
Welcome. Welcome to 100 years. Yes, 1 is 40, 1 is 60, which is which? I'm sure you'll find the answer completely obvious. We apologize about the rain tonight. We're very sorry. I don't know why my mom didn't warn us. I'm sure she felt it in her knees 6 days ago.
We hope it doesn't thunder too much. We really want Jenny to stick around.
Welcome. It's really good to have you all here tonight. We wanted to make some acknowledgments before we eat dinner. Tonight we'll be broken up into 2 entertainment sections. We have some speeches here, yeah, and then we will have some dinner, and we will come back later when everyone's far drunker, and do something else that's very special. But at first we'd like to make some acknowledgments tonight, right?
Yeah, that's right. We wanted to first recognize my cousin Heather and her brand new fiance Mike. They'll be getting married this month in Maui. Heather's mom and dad, my Aunt Denise and Uncle Tim, will celebrate 40 years this year. Also, Mike, Heather's fiance, turns 40 years old this year.
Jocelyn's boyfriend's dad turned 60 yesterday. Where's Mike? Also, Mike Wilkinson and Frankie, where are you guys? Over here. They're getting married later this year.
Amanda and Chris? Right here. We'll be getting married on April 6th.
Is there anyone else getting married? Okay, good. Chris and Rudy Van Sola. Chris and Rudy, where are you guys? They're so tall. Oh, thank God you're tall. I can see you. Celebrating 35 years of marriage. Yay!
So we also wanted to take a minute to recognize a lot of Jenny's friends who have come from so far away and that are here to celebrate with her. Jenny Ritz, who's out here from Ohio.
Because of the snow.
We didn't want to tell anyone, but she did go to Ohio State, so. But what's so wonderful about their friendship, they have so much alike, they have the same name, and Jenny's birthday was yesterday, so let's
Jenny's grandfather, Don, could not be here. He's turning 93 this year. And I'm not even going to make an old joke. All right? I've got too much respect. And I don't like making fun of anything that was in the Bible.
We have lots of Jenny's work friends here, all of her colleagues from Universal American Mortgage. I want to thank all of you guys for being here. I also, though, want to go back, just in case anyone's here from People's Mortgage, thank them. Katie. And I'm going to go back to Universal. I'm going to go back to People's. Universal, thank you guys.
We also want to thank you from Hospice of the Valley. Because my mom just told me to say that. Also, we want to thank Cliff and Linda Castle, who could not make it here tonight, but they're in our thoughts, and we love them very much.
We want to thank Sylvie and Darren Guy for being here. Jenny's closest friends from back in the high school days. 2000, and Jenny wanted me to apologize. She hasn't called you since then.
It's Tommy in the house. Tommy. It's Tommy in the house. All right.
You owe me $10.
I owed Melissa $10. I did not think he was real. Jenny's dear friend, over a decade, he's been taking her to gay bars for years, which now solves the mystery of why it took so long for Jenny to get a boyfriend. And now that I officially can, welcome to the state of Arizona.
We also want to recognize Julie, who's come out all the way from Florida. On Thursday, she was talking to Jenny. Jenny said she was having this party. She booked her flight that night to come out here. So their friendship cost $1,000.
My girlfriend Chelsea is behind the camera there tonight. Her birthday's next week, and we thank her for videotaping the show tonight, because if there's one thing we all know, my mom loves to videotape this stuff and show it to you every time you come over. So if you're watching this, I'm really sorry. I know it was funny the first time. By the 9th time, I'm sure it's really old. Of course, not as old as my mother. There's going to be a ton of old jokes tonight, just so you know. Because if there's one thing this party reminds us all of, that we are all really old. For example, Jenny is so old, when we went to go light the candles on her birthday cake, it ran away.
Or Rhonda is so old, they're using her as a consultant for the new movie Pompeii.
Jenny is so old, when she looked in the mirror, she thought she was Rhonda. Wait, I've got more. Jenny is so old, her birthday spankings put her in intensive care.
For every one joke for Rhonda, there's going to be 2 jokes for her.
We're not letting her get away with this. If this was just her party, we would let her have it. I don't want the fact that my mom is so much older to steal her thunder. Or the T word, sorry. So, again, we wanted to thank you all for coming out tonight. What we thought we would do is just real quickly, we've asked a few people to say some words about Jenny and Rhonda. And to start off the festivities, please welcome my co-host, Miss Melissa Chilton.
Thank you. Charlie Rouse. That's right. Charlie Rouse. Well, I first wanted to start off by sharing one of my most fondest memories of my Auntie Rhonda. I was a little girl. My parents dropped me off for babysitting for the night. Who knows what they were doing. And we had the best night, right? We still talk about it. We watched the original Gidget movie. We had pizza. We sat on the couch. We did nails. We just had the best girls' night. And I remember thinking, wow, I have the best aunt. And I've learned so much from you in my life. So much so that, I have 5 nieces and nephews now too. So when I think about how I want to be as an auntie, I think about all that you've taught me. It wasn't too long ago, we were in this room, a couple of years ago, I don't know, some family event, and I looked over and I said, hey, Rhonda, do you have
Rhonda?
a wine glass?
Did you say Auntie Rhonda?
No, I said Rhonda. And she stopped and she looked at me and she said, what did you just call me? And I said, Rhonda. She goes, it's Auntie Rhonda. So one thing I know with my nieces and nephews, I will always make sure that they call me Auntie Rhonda, or they'll get a or Auntie Melissa. But I can remember when my auntie called me on my 16th birthday. She sang Sweet 16 Candles to me. She was there on my 21st birthday with her girlfriends in Vegas. She was at my 30th birthday in Chicago. She was there the first time I ran a marathon. She was there on my college graduation. She was there getting Jocelyn all beautiful on our wedding. They've been with me there through all kinds of memories. I really love you so much. Now for Jenny. I was preparing this speech for her wedding, but I have a lot of great stories about Jenny and I growing up. One thing I can say for sure is that we were really good at arguing and fighting as little girls. It started very early on. It was all about stealing clothes, the phone, who knows what we were fighting about, but it was pretty intense. My parents came up with a lot of creative ideas on how to try to help us not argue and fight. Take away the TV, the Nintendo, take away the phone. If they took away the phone, it was like just hell. We used to have this avocado green phone. It was attached into the kitchen, right? The cord was like 2 football lengths wide. Driving through the kitchen, down the hall, into the bathroom. Jenny would close the door so she could get some privacy. Real important phone calls back then, right? But I would sneak up into the kitchen and you could even find me sneaking. I was so good. I snuck into her room. She'd still be sleeping. I'd take her new shirt she got from clothes time, wear it to school that day, get it back into her closet before she even know. So we were really, really good at doing that. David, what's my daughter's
Diaries.
Oh yeah. So my parents, what they did, they put locks on our doors, right? Because that's brilliant. We'll just put locks on all the doors. So it worked great until Jenny locked herself inside my room and read me my diary. I literally kicked a hole in the door. My parents came home. Needless to say, we had no avocado green phone that night. But in all the stories we could talk about, these funny fights and all this stuff, there are even more stories of this great friendship and bond and the sistership that we have. And Jenny, I'm so proud to stand up and celebrate this milestone birthday with you. I love you so much. You're the best sister anyone's had.
That was lovely. Rhonda is so old, she thought the internet was what kept out Malarian flies. I thought that was going to go over so good. It's hard to write these things. Anyway, I'd like to next present my mother's best friend of too many years that I can't count, Miss Audrey Perzelsky and her daughter Amanda.
Props here. Hi, everybody. Hi, Audrey. I'm so nervous doing this because I'm just not a public speaker, so I'm here because I love my best friend so much. And I'm seeing you cheering up. I know. Okay, don't get me going. Happy birthday to both of you. Jenny, I love you so much. And 40 is the new 30. 60, however. You wear it well. What I decided I would do when I was talking to David, he said, why don't And so I thought about it, and I was thinking about all the different things I could say, and I realized that if I roasted you, I'd be throwing myself into the fire. So I decided to honor you instead and do something. But before I do, I just have to say I wanted to share one little tidbit about Ronnie, as many of you know her, that you probably don't know. But when she was just a little girl, she would keep a file box on all her friends and all their problems. I'm not kidding you. So if you called her up and she, said, "Hi, this is Debbie," she'd say, "Debbie, are you getting your homework in on time?"
No way.
So that's how far back it goes. This, woman has been, as you all know, the most caring and generous and, okay, I am too, so. Anyway, what she loves more than anything in the world is to see her friends embarrassed and humiliated. She gets absolute pleasure.
It is true. Thank you. Come on.
It's in my purse. Oh, crap. Okay, kind of late.
Okay.
Well, we had some confetti, but I forgot to bring it out.
Well,
So we have pretend confetti. So, I write little theme songs for my pets, and they're very personal. It's just something really silly that I do. Not that I write the tunes, I just kind of take somebody else's song and put my own words in. And a couple of years ago, I wrote a real silly one for Ronnie, and I'm going to sing it publicly. And I'm taking my daughter down with me. So, here we go. I can't look at it. I gotta preface this. I don't have a girl crush and I'm not gay. It just so, every little breeze whispers rondelloes. Birds in the trees love rondelloes. Because just like me, they long to be close to you. On the day that you were born, the angels got together. Decided to create a friend so true. So they sprinkled kindness in your hair.
to write her greeting card in cuneiform. Read a history book, people. I would like now to introduce Jenny's father, Mr. Stephen Shorley.
Gave him a kiss because she thought he was David.
For the first time. Hi, I thought I would start out, I made a little list because older people. And now that Rhonda has joined us, you know. Okay, what can you say about Rhonda? Well, quite a bit, apparently. David, meeting of Rhonda in all, when we grew up, prior to the wedding, learning about her, standing proudly. David! In the wedding, we learned about her, we grew up, and of course, our families. David! We don't get it. Our families grew together, and we had the place at the river together, and it was very. It was very warming and enlightening. And, David! Okay. And then, of course, after the river. Well, that's Jenny. You had some grace. And then after the river, of course, our families grew together, and they're still growing together. And now we're starting to go on trips together. David. And anyway, Judy and I and the rest of our family. David! We'd like to welcome or say happy birthday. Welcome to the 60 decades. The 60, at least for me, is now the new 80. And, of course, we wish you all our love and all the very happy returns. I have another piece because, oh boy. And we got notes because. We have to. Jennifer, my dearest daughter, is Melissa here? My equally dearest daughter, the agony of her birth pales in the comparison to the agony of raising her in our house. And for all of you with children, I'll give you a couple of cautions here. How quickly strawberry shortcake wallpaper turns into huge big hair, makeup that looks like a raccoon, and now we're talking Depeche Mode and U2 and other kind of things in the blink of an eye. And we had just 1 or 200 issues with her.
That's why you sent her to our house.
Are you?
No.
And I'll just mention a few to kind of illuminate, the person that was Jenny during those hellion years. And one of the things was, one of the things that we noticed was a significantly huge increase in our telephone bill. Well, it just, it never made any sense. We didn't have that many friends. And we certainly didn't have that many with a 976. And so Heather Basque, are you okay? So anyway, we had a little roundabout about, going through the neighborhood talking to all our friends. Hi, our daughter is thinking of charging them to your phone. Unfair that we should have to pay the whole bill. So other people in the neighborhood were charged. And then, there was the boyfriends, the litany, the cornucopia of boyfriends, some of which, a large percentage of, we enjoyed, we liked. And kind of to mitigate some of this, behavior that we were kind of sort of concerned with, she went on a ride-along with one of our neighbors who was a policeman. So she went on a ride-along to maybe see the end game of continued behavior. And it was as a matter of fact, it was pretty traumatic. There was a couple of things. The benefit of that, of course, was the fact that now at least she knew when she was misbehaving. It didn't affect her behavior whatsoever. At least she knows. One of the things, obviously, with the boyfriends, we had the pleasure of meeting Tommy tonight.
Wait, where is he?
There he is, right there. He's probably already regretting somewhat. We're off to a good start. Very much of a pleasure meeting him. Perhaps if we could get a little electrical work up in Prescott, we'd go a long way to having more favorable. Okay. But what happened? It's amazing. All these pitfalls and all these things in front of you, you kind of seem to just grow through all those. You struck out on your own. Came into Arizona with the help of your second family here. You have a huge network. It's all right with you. She's come out here in Arizona. She's got a huge network of friends and dear friends and caring friends, of which most of you are. And so, in spite of a somewhat rocky beginning, shall we say, and of course, this is unfair of me. I'll just put a little caveat on this. It tended to blend together with Melissa. So we don't know who had the keg party that hid it from us, but didn't hide it enough that the beer bottles and the cigarette butts. There was that. So, but there was this blending thing with her sister that she's always brought up. So, anyway, keep it short. I just want to wish you a very happy, sincere 40th birthday.
Rhonda is so old that she's very well respected and has many insightful things to say. That didn't even get a laugh. Ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, I'd like to invite one of Jenny's dear friends, Miss Jenny Ritz. She has some very wonderful things to say about her.
I had to drink a lot of wine to get to this point. I'm not doing this at all.
Yeah, that's different.
Anyway, so Jenny. Dear friend Jenny. So I met Jenny working for a mortgage company. surprise there. And, you know, we kind of went out, we hung out, we talked. We were like, oh my God, they have the same name. Oh my God. So we drank a little more, and then we were like, oh my God, our birthdays are 1 day apart. Oh my God, that's crazy. And then we were like, oh my God, you're on that medication. I mean, and from then on, I knew we would be friends forever. So we were like taking somebody else's drugs when you're running out. It just works out that way. So anyway, it's been a pleasure knowing you for the last couple of years. I know everybody says that 10 years ago we celebrated our 30th and 31st birthdays together. It doesn't seem like it was that long ago. And I'm frightened because in 10 years you'll be 50 and 51. Exactly. That's what I said. I almost threw up. I was like, so I don't know what we're going to do then, but yeah. Anyway. So anyway, I'm not going to do this much longer. I'm just going to read you a little poem I wrote. Okay? Probably nobody will understand anything I'm saying in this but you, but that's okay. And I hope my phone doesn't die before I finish reading it. So, okay. This is to my Jenny. It seems like only yesterday that at a job I met a dear true friend who shared my name with a birthday I won't forget. With common traits of moods and meds, we went for drinks and smokes. Years of good conversation followed, and some inside jokes. Bendy.
That's a private one.
Yeah.
My imagination's on overload.
Red Rocket. I'm not gonna get through this. Where am I at here? Missile of the night. Peeing on the side of the road. Gay country bars. Vegas. And college football. Oh, I know. Oh. That's for you, Joe. I can't believe it's been 10 years since we Mardi Gras into 30 and 31. I hope whatever we plan for 50 will be just as much fun. We've been through lots of changes and miles keep us apart. You've always been there for me and have a special place in my heart. Through weddings, divorce, children and dogs, you treat me just the same. It's your turn to come to Ohio and go to a Buckeye game. I just want to say one thing, maybe one thing, about Rhonda. I don't know if it was the first time I met you. It was one of the first times I met you, though, when you lived in Mesa. You know, Jenny and I just started hanging out. We go there and she's like, "Gotta go to Rhonda." So we go up the stairs and we open your bedroom door and there's you and Audrey laying in bed together.
My favorite.
We covered it. Dermatological thing you had been doing.
That's what they call it.
That was my first time. I'm sure not my last.
I want to say something about Jenny, my first niece. When I met her, she was 3 years old, and David and I had just been dating about 2 months. And we went to his family's house for dinner, and Jenny was there, and she was so sweet. She was really taken with me, so I don't think she ever saw Uncle David with another girl.
Oh, there, David. Sure, she
And we rearranged the table, and she sat next to me, and that was the first time I met my mother-in-law. But we really kind of hit it off. She was so sweet. And at the end of the night, when we left, she hugged me and she said, "Oh, I hope you marry Uncle David." Oh. And I said, "Oh, don't worry, honey, I will." best day of my life when I got a daughter. I boss around and do all this shit. And you do it right. You know, I didn't have to like redo it afterwards. And the boys had a taste of a big sister. And David had a taste of a daughter. Oh my God. And boys would come to the door and take her out for a date. And afterwards, David would look at me and say, "Why didn't he look me in the eye?" And right then, I knew why God gave us sons. And in the last 15 years, you've always lived down the street from us. And I just feel so honored.
Now you say something nice about her.
My first memory of Aunt Sharonda, I was in Montessori. That's what's wrong with me.
Jonathan was the only one ever kicked out of Montessori. Hey, we work together, buddy.
I remember Aunt Sharonda coming in to pick me up, and she was this thin,
Oh, look at Rhonda.
like just, she wore the tightest jeans with a tube top, and she was tan, and she had that feathered hair. I just thought, oh my gosh, who is this woman to come pick me up? That was my aunt. And then we would drive home, and I would be scared shitless because she would drive with her niece.
All through this room, especially Ruby.
But she always made a place for me. She always made sure that we had girl time and we laughed and had a great time. And then also when I came to live with you, that was important to me, obviously because Mom and Dad didn't want me. I learned a lot from, I mean, I'm not over, shadowing my parents, but coming to Arizona, I had to meet certain criteria. I had to get a certain grade point average. I had to make sure I was watching the boys fish sticks. So I had these set of rules. I had to play a sport. I had to go to church. And I don't think that without that structure, all of you were both of you. Yeah. And I'm so glad.
All right, thank you all for indulging us. Two people, lots of people at the party. A reminder, in about an hour and a half, we have a special presentation to give you. But now dinner is served. I've been told we still are waiting on a couple of turkeys, so if you...
No, Judy's got the turkey.
She's got them? Okay, the turkeys are coming for the Tryptophan fans.
Turkeys have been here for a while.
Thank you. Dinner is served in the other room at your leisure. Thank you all very much.
Yeah.